Given enough time, just about everything will compost. Everything will decompose down to compost. Here's our undesirable pile is a good example. This is just weedy stuff that we take out of the beds and stuff, marigolds and stuff that has seeds in it and stuff. But over time, it does make a very nice compost. And here's an example right down here, some very rich humus. And Trudy's adding to the pile right now some whole bunch of California poppies and weeds, amaranth, crabgrass, you name it. It's in there, fillery. And that'll all decompose down to a real nice, rich compost. Okay, well, here's an area I've been working on. I'm clearing out some tomatoes that have been in this bed. And I had tomatillos here, some San Marzanos, and these cherry tomatoes are going to come out today. And I'm preparing this bed to put cover crop in. So I'll take the tomato out and throw it in the the crappy compost pile, and then I'll work up the bed and put some cover crop seed in there. Okay, this is my composting area. I keep my good deluxe composting area, and you can see I compost in these hog fence bins, and they worked really well. So this compost pile here is one that I'm working on, I'm building, and I have a whole lot of nice garden ingredients in it. And then behind it is finished compost that I've been harvesting, and this one has a lot of biochar in it and a lot of really good stuff, and so I build one and harvest out of the other. Then on the opposite side of the yard is where I have the crappy compost pile that I harvest mulch from. Okay, so I pull up that cherry tomato, and now I'll rake this area out and run a hula hoe through here and get some of the weeds and stuff out, and probably sprinkle in a little bit of complete organic fertilizer in this bed before I put some cover crop seed in there. I know the cover crop seed would appreciate a little bit of nutrients. I went ahead and composted that cherry tomato in my good compost pile because the plant looked healthy and nice and green, and so I just thought I'd do it in there. I know I'm going to get a lot of volunteer cherry tomatoes when I spread out the compost, but hey, that's okay too. Alrighty. Okay, I ran a hula hoe down here through the strip and raked out the weeds and stuff, and so I put a little bit of complete organic fertilizer on this bed, and I'll hula hoe it again and rake it out, and then plant some cover crop. I went ahead and put some fertilizer down here in front of my other tomato plants, and I'll water that in too. Okay, I sparsely seeded this bed, and you can see I tamped the seed in with a garden rake. I like doing this because it pushes some of the seed down, and when I water, it'll cover the ridges of the soil will erode and cover up some of the other seeds. I'm going to go ahead and put a wire cage over this. We have a lot of birds in the garden area right now because they're eating the figs off the fig tree, and I sure don't want them in here pecking out all my nice green manure cover crop. I'm using this green leaf garden mix cover crop, and it is really good. And when I said sparsely seeded, that's what I meant. I sparsely seeded that bed there, and you can see that there is a whole bunch of stuff growing out of there. I like this mix because it has about 8 different ingredients: grasses, mustards, vetches, and all kinds of cool stuff. Okay, so now I'll get the water wand and I'll water the ground cover in and cover it up with some wire so the birds can't get at it, and I'll be happy. Okay, so here it is. I went ahead and put some nice finished compost on over the top of the seed, mainly to camouflage it. We have a lot of active birds here that are migrating and they're hungry. So I covered everything up with flats and compost. Now it's just a matter of time, a few days, maybe 3 or 4 days, and we'll start getting some nice sprouts. Cool.